luxury jumbo jet, which has a value estimated at $400 million. The aircraft would be used by President Trump as a new Air Force One and then transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation shortly before he leaves office.
It's no secret that President of the United States Donald Trump has been in a rush for a new Air Force One since his first term. In the past week or so, the news has been swirling that he found a solution in the form of a gift from the royals of Qatar. The idea of accepting the $400 million jet as a replacement for Air Force One has come under immediate harsh criticism for legal, ethical and political reasons, but also because it isn't actually a solution in technical terms. We try to tackle some of this debate for today's video.
I could be a stupid person and say, oh no, we don't want a free plane. We give free things out, we'll take one too.
Let's first look at the legality of it all. Is Trump allowed to accept a $400 million luxury plane as a gift? As reported by BBC, several senior Democrats have claimed that accepting the gift would be illegal. Democratic Senator Adam Schiff quoted a section of the U.S. Constitution that said no elected official could accept, quote, any present of any kind whatever from the leader of a foreign state without congressional approval. Obviously, such a clause was and continues to stand as a guardrail to prevent bribery to influence the government. BBC continues, noting that there have been a number of other laws passed by the US government relating to the acceptance of foreign gifts, such as the Foreign Gifts and Decorations Act of 1966, which means that congressional consent is required for the acceptance of foreign gifts above $480. Not $480 million, just $480. Now, as many people viewing this will be preparing to comment, the Qatari gift is technically going to the US Air Force or US government, and so legally speaking, it is not the president as an individual accepting the gift, even if he is the main beneficiary. At the same time, Trump has referred to the plane as ultimately going to his library/museum foundation. This could allow the president, upon leaving office, to use the jet.
Do you plan to use the plane after you leave office?
No, I don't. No, it would go directly to the library after I leave office. I wouldn't be using it. No.
The fact that there is discussion of the 747 being transferred out of service to Trump's Presidential Library/Museum Foundation is certainly eyebrow-raising if the jet is a gift to the US Air Force and Office of the President. Thus, it's not a total one-for-one comparison to say that the gift is essentially the same act as when the French gifted the Statue of Liberty. The statue was more or less a common good, accessible by the public, whereas the 747 primarily benefits the president, although we're sure his entourage and journalists accompanying the president on board would benefit as well. And again, the transfer of the jet out of service once Trump's time in office ends does point to the gift being more for Trump himself rather than for whoever is the president now and in the future. So perhaps there are sufficient legal loopholes to argue the transaction complies with all existing regulations, although whether it's ethical is an equally hot topic of debate. Then there is the technical feasibility of transforming the jumbo jet into a capable presidential transport, something we already touched on in a previous long-haul video. The VC-25 variants of the basic Boeing 747 airliner are chock full of cutting-edge technology from nose to tail. This technology serves a myriad of purposes, from facilitating state dinners on the fly to protecting the commander-in-chief in the event of a nuclear war. To take a used jet off the market and equip it to be comparable would be the same as starting from scratch, but without the benefit of a clean slate. Richard Abulafia, an analyst and consultant on commercial and military aviation, told NBC News that turning the Qatari jetliner into Air Force One would cost billions and take years, saying, "You're taking a 747, disassembling it, reassembling it, and then jacking it up to a very high level." The Qatari defense minister is in discussions with the White House about transferring a 747-8. The Pentagon would then be in charge of hiring a contractor to convert it into a temporary Air Force One. Experts, Air Force officials, and lawmakers all agree that the cost of transforming the jet into a flying White House for the president with classified upgrades and secure communications could cost taxpayers at least hundreds of millions of dollars. Kevin Buckley, a former Air Force official who oversaw the Air Force One replacement program, told Politico, "It's what's inside the aircraft that matters. The presidential mission equipment is unique, it's hardened, it's secure, it's survivable." Extensive overhauling of electrical wiring, avionics and power systems to install secure presidential communications, self-defense tech and electromagnetic shielding would make the Qatari conversion a massive undertaking. While the state of Qatar is officially an ally of the United States, it also maintains close relations with entities and nations that are Western adversaries, including Iran.
Qatar is considered an American ally, but it is also an ally of Iran and China and even Hamas.
Despite Qatar's best intentions, it's simple due diligence to check the aircraft thoroughly for any hidden devices, and so the cost of sweeping the aircraft for software modifications or embedded foreign tech could push costs even higher. While many have joked or suggested that this is a modern-day Trojan horse or a way to curry favour with the president, Forbes is suggesting something even simpler, stating that the Qataris, quote, just don't want it anymore. The media outlet states that the royals have failed to sell the plane, which was put on the market in 2020. Thus, giving it away could eliminate the nation's costs of maintenance and storage. Making Trump happy would be an added bonus, Forbes notes. Qatar, like many modern states, is shifting toward leaner, more versatile aircraft, which offer better economics and more discreet presence for official travel, Linus Bauer told Forbes. Bauer is the managing director of the Dubai-based aviation consulting firm BAA and Partners. Interestingly, Turkey's president was gifted a Boeing 747-8 by Qatar's emir in 2018. That aircraft's value at the time was $500 million. Ultimately, it's clear that even if the gift has no strings attached, the technical feasibility of modification is the hard wall that the Trump administration will need to overcome. The VC-25B program being handled by Boeing is already behind schedule. It was reported that delivery of at least one jet could now happen in 2027 if some requirements are trimmed. The retrofit of the Qatari aircraft would compete with or strain the workforce already involved with the VC-25B. Richard Abulafia said to Defense News that the jet is troublesome for a host of reasons. It's all based on an embarrassing misunderstanding of what Air Force One is meant to do. If it's a gold-plated palace in the sky and nothing more, have at it. If it's an actual tool to be used in a worst-case contingency like nuclear war, then this ain't it. Would or could Trump insist that he fly his new jet without all the modifications that make Air Force One Air Force One? We'll have to wait and see how all of this unfolds. So, what are your thoughts on the legal, ethical and technical issues surrounding this jumbo-sized gift? Do let us know your thoughts by leaving a comment. Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.